Sweet. All right, my friend.
Okay.
Here we go. So, would you like to just go by Jim Perkins?
Yeah, Jim's fine.
Okay, wonderful. So, Jim, tell me about, you said you were retired, but can you tell me a little bit about your firefighting experience and your jobs here in Las Vegas?
Well, I joined Clark County Fire Department November 3rd, 1973. And I was with a volunteer group before that up in Alamo, Nevada, about 90 miles north of Vegas. I was a volunteer there, so I was already an EMT. So within my first year on the Clark County Fire Department, I went to the first paramedic school in the state of Nevada, the governor's pilot program. So I was one of the first nine paramedics uh, to go through that and be on the paramedic program. So I was a firefighter paramedic.
What was your experience like being a firefighter back then? What years were you active?
Uh, it was amazing. There was only 100, and I don't know what the population of Vegas was then, but there was only my seniority number on the fire department was 120, and now there's probably I don't know. Now there's probably 1,000 in suppression. I really don't know. Uh, Chief Steinbach could give you that answer, but it was a small department then. There was only five fire stations. Uh, the strip was just barely developing. There was no Flamingo ended at Flamingo going west ended at I-15. It didn't go any further west right there. Uh, there was a big separation between downtown Fremont Street and the strip. And then the strip ended, I think probably the Hacienda Hotel then, which isn't even around anymore. But uh, there was just a lot of desert. There was a lot of desert. You would come to the Sahara Hotel and the old El Rancho Hotel that had burned just before I got on. And the strip was pretty much empty. There was when I first got on. Of course, hotels were being built rapidly, and the department was expanding rapidly. And it was just a great, fantastic time to be on the fire department in Las Vegas on the Clark County Fire Department.
It's hard to believe that the strip was ever, I don't even want to say small, but that it wasn't as huge as it is now.
Oh no, you would come to Tropicana Hotel. After the Tropicana Hotel, you would drive in the desert for a ways before you hit the Hacienda Hotel, which is a smaller hotel, and then it was all desert. It was there was it wasn't like it is now. That's for darn sure.
So you mentioned the hotels and that rapid development, the day of the fire at the MGM. Can you walk me through what that day was like for you personally?
I was just getting off shift. I was stationed at Station 11 on Flamingo, which was a little station that sit right across the street. In fact, we watched from our station. We watched the hotel being built. But uh, I had got released from work, uh, did my shift change, and went home. And right as I got home, the dispatcher had been trying to call me uh, about the fire at the MGM, and I got called back into work for that. At that time, we had started a team. Some of us were rock climbers up in Red Rock. And we'd started a team called HART, HART, the High Angle Rescue Team. And there was just about a half dozen of us on it. And we were training and developing techniques to take the skills that we learned doing mountain rescue onto high-rise buildings, as far as rescuing people off high-rise buildings, evacuating people off high-rise buildings. So we had a small team, a small core of individuals that were working in that. And when I got back to Station 11, Chief Papa George was there in the IC, and he signed myself and another member of the team, who was my partner at the time, John Jersey. He assigned us to go ahead and get up into the high rise and start evacuating people to the roof. Uh, and that's what our primary job was. We had no radios, we had no communication, we had no air packs. I think we went into we got up a step onto the 14th floor, and the smoke was about 6 inches off the floor. So you had to crawl down the hallways of the hotel. The first thing we seen was the elevator in the lobby of the 14th floor. There was probably, I would say, 12 to 14 fatalities piled up in front of the elevator doors. And that's the first thing we seen when we went in. We checked really quick for vital signs there, and then just started working our way down the hallway. We'd come to a door, we would stand up, bust it open. Sometimes we would find fatalities in the room, and sometimes we would find people sitting in there uh, drinking tequila and partying. It just depends on whether their outside doors had got opened and the smoke got into their room. So we just went room to room, and we gathered up all the people that were ambulatory that could walk, got them in one room, and then started taking them to the roof. Some of them could walk on their own. Some of them we had to assist. Some of them we had to fully carry. And we took them up to the room, up to the roof. We had helicopters coming in from everywhere in the valley that were picking the people up, and then we would head back down and do another floor. And we just worked our way from where we started to the roof, doing that all day long. And that was my day.
My goodness. What are you feeling in this moment? Going from room to room and seeing people in various stages of distress. What are you thinking at this point?
It took a while. At first, it was just John Jersey and myself there, and then other people started joining. And I think we knew that we were overwhelmed. We knew that we needed help, and we knew that we could not save everybody. It was a complete triage situation. A lot of the people we found, if it would have been a one-on-one situation out in the street like we normally worked and we had our equipment with us, there were lives that could have been saved. But in our situation, it was getting as many people to the roof and out of that smoke, and that was it. It was overwhelming. You didn't really have time to think about it at the time. You just did your job, did what you were trained to do, and you knew that all your brothers and sisters on the department and all the neighboring departments was doing their best to extinguish the fire and keep it away from the high rise where we were evacuating people. And the Clark County Fire Department, the Henderson Fire Department, the Las Vegas Fire Department, they were all there working. And we knew that everybody had our backs and everybody was working on the common goal, and that was to save as many people as we could. But we knew we'd never faced anything like this before, and we knew that we would never face anything like that again in our careers.
How many people would you say were you guys able to get up to the roof?
We got the count was somewhere a little over 300 people.
300 people in a matter of what, hours at this point?
I was there. I didn't come off the roof until it was just getting dark. So probably 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. we were we were there we were there all day long.
Yeah, I
And it
imagine you
was a
got there pretty much as the fire broke out.
well, right shortly after. Yeah. I mean, I could see that the smoke was already crowning and up in the air and driving in. So the fire was well progressed. And as you probably know from looking at the history of it, the fire was smoldering and burning for a very long time before it finally broke out and got the air it needed and the dragon got set loose.
In the aftermath of everything that's going on, the cleanup, what was that like?
I was not really involved in the cleanup. Once I finally got off the roof, uh, I was donezo.
I,
So I wasn't involved in the cleanup. I think the next day or maybe the day after, I did get in and started assisting doing some cleanup and doing some mop up, as we call it, and uh, overhaul. But I wasn't really involved in it immediately afterwards.
or when you think back on it now, I can't imagine that it ever really truly leaves you, but how do you view those memories from a 2025 lens? This is 45 years after the fact, but I imagine it's still pretty fresh in your mind.
It is fresh in my mind every single day, and especially this time every year. Yeah, I always think about it. I think a lot of us developed some PTSD from it. Uh, you got to understand, this was in the early years of firefighting, and we didn't have things like critical incident stress debriefing, or we didn't have anything like that. We got together and talked in our stations and helped each other get through it, but it never went away. The nightmares from that has haunted me my entire life.
How much longer after the fire did you remain with the department?
Oh, I spent 30 years with the department. I think I retired in 2003. Yeah, I was there 30 years.
Quite the storied career you've had, Mr. Jim.
Had a great career. And I'll tell you what, if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it all over again. It was the
Really?
best career and the best family of brothers and sisters to work with a person could ever want.
Love it. I think that's all I have. Did you have anything else that we didn't touch on that maybe you wanted to expand on?
No, uh, I think that's about it. I mean, there's been, I've been through these interviews, and they've done specials on the MGM throughout the years, and I'm very glad that people keep this alive, and I'm glad that people realize too that the MGM hotel fire was the catalyst for changing fire codes and changing high-rise safety throughout the whole nation. And the Clark County Fire Department and the whole state of Nevada got together to make that happen immediately. They didn't wait for national codes or anything else. They made it happen. And I'm very proud of being part of that.
I bet. Well, thank you again so much for
You're
both your
welcome.
service and for your time. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. I'm sorry I have to make you relive this. I know you said you talk
No,
about
that's
it every
okay.
year.
I relive it. I relive it all the time. I when when I knew this was going to happen, I reviewed some of the other programs and everything that it went on through the years. And like I said, I'm glad that the Vegas community keeps it alive and honors what we did as firefighters and honors the loss of that we lost that day and the changes that it made for uh, our whole industry.
Absolutely. Well, it was so lovely to meet you. Thank you so much again for doing this. I really appreciate you.
You are welcome.
Okay, my
Is
friend.
off the record.
Okay, wait, let me stop recording.